Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Saturday, September 18th, 2021. In both the Lin Life and the Dreamy Body Mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions. And all other souls from all other dimensions, as long as the souls are already living by the search for truth rules, and we understand that we have not been able to find any of those souls. That's not who's passing through this dimension planet combo pack right now. But if we stop holding to that, what's going to happen will be even less desirable. And to at least aim as high as we're able to aim, and then we're doing our part. And now the microphone just switched to somebody who's saying to the psychic women of North America, which is a pretty tight bracket, so we would say, can we speak to a wider audience? And they would say to the psychic people to understand that the astral dimensions are in great turbulence right now, and everything that you've been taught about how to meditate and how to pray, it is no longer applicable if those teachings are coming from thousands of years ago, because it doesn't work in this environment that's lacking upward flow and where the astral dimensions have become fully lawless, anarchy above us. And we are now so far into what seems to literally be a black hole, a black hole. We're so far into it that it's extremely difficult to reach any presences who are actually outside the black hole. Now, it's easy to reach presences who say they're outside the black holes, but those are two different things.
Yeah, that's right.
And so you have got to that's incorrect. You don't have to adjust your ways, but if you would like to be successful, you are going to have to adjust your ways. If you don't want to adjust your ways, that's okay. You do you. Nobody's telling you what to do. That's why you're experiencing the troubles that you're experiencing in your meditations.
That's right.
And it attracts undesirable astral presences to us, to all of us, psychic presences, when we're not really guarding the sense gates by guarding our intentions.
That's right.
They're talking about the nature of scarcity.
Yes, they are.
And how in planetary configurations there is an inherent scarcity. This planet here, it has only the resources that it has, and those were what coagulated from the stardust several billion years ago, and that's what's here. And we to not acknowledge that reality makes us sound a little ridiculously crazy. They're talking about the population densities that work, and they remind us that there are various and sundry counts, but there's under 500 million chimpanzees in the world.
That's right.
And that's how many humans there should also be in the world. And if we really take that in, then we can understand a little bit about diseases like the COVID-19 virus, because the angels have been saying for really a long time, maybe a decade, is you humans, there's too many of you, you need to control your population. And if you don't do it for yourself, we're going to do it for you, and you will not like that way nearly as much. And that's what they've been saying. And so they're still saying that, and now we have this virus that has spread rapidly throughout humanity and is likely to continue spreading rapidly throughout humanity.
That's true.
And none of us know how this virus is going to play out in the long term because it's new to our experience.
That's right.
So we'll all find out together in a way that's beautiful. But possibly this is part of divinity's beginning to control human population. And so, friends, how we could try to make this a gentler phenomenon is to take a hiatus from breeding. No more humans, no more dogs, no more cats, no more domesticated species, no more horses, no more cattle.
That's right.
Nothing domesticated. Just take a hiatus. There's too many already. Go vegan. Or backyard chickens. What's the deal with the laws against backyard chickens? That's crazy. Everybody should have a couple of chickens in their backyard, and then there's a couple fresh eggs every morning, and it's healthier, and it's healthier for the chicken, and it's healthier for the planet. And how odd that the chicken is one of the most commonly banned animal presences. Why can't you have pet chickens? Why can you have pet parakeets and not pet chickens? Why can you have a dog but not chickens, or a cat?
That's right.
But not chickens? It's really odd. Why is that?
Less quiet.
What now to stop this destruction of all life on Earth at humanity's hands using tools sent in by the spirit world? We think that that's really the point, is that humanity is not bright enough to have come up with any of these ideas on our own.
That's
that
right.
It's just given to us by spirit, and the good ideas drop in through presences who are able to hear them. But they were given to us by spirit.
That's right.
And we're not responsible enough to handle them. We should have proven by now. We've proven we're not allowed, should not have been allowed to have explosives or guns.
That's right.
An internal combustion machine seems to be right out.
That's right.
Extraction devices, we should not have them. We can't handle it responsibly. So now what? To stop the destruction of life on Earth at humanity's hands using tools sent in by the spirit world. And how to stand out from the crowd, because this whole human society has a really bad karmic burden.
That's right.
For destroying life on Earth, and this North American society is arguably the one who's leading the parade, because poverty-stricken nations look to the United States to see what's cool, and they want to do that thing just to be cool.
That's
Everybody's stuck in adolescence, trying to be cool. So this society, participants in this society, it's not going to go well.
No.
It's going to be very bad reincarnation experiences
Yeah.
for what's going to seem like an eternity of suffering. And now how do we not do that? How do we separate ourselves from that society? Is somebody saying, I know, and they're talking about, you must be an activist, you must speak up on behalf of other ways of handling situations. Speak out, be willing to pay the price. Which we think is probably why we have this assignment.
That's true.
For filming. Frame is a message. Why do you ask? What does the rule book say to do when life in the depths is dangling away from spirit?
Well, that opens a big door in the sky.
What does the rule book say to do when life in the depths is dangling away from spirit? I think the rule book says you have to have less of them.
Yeah.
Like first things first, diminish the problem, make it a smaller problem. What about the undead? We can't. How do you get rid of somebody who's already dead but still hanging around? Because that's a common occurrence.
That's true.
Like, how is it going to be different? We're curious. We're not being disrespectful.
No.
I would like to know, how is it going to be different? Do you hear anything?
No.
How's it going to be different? Maybe they've been hoping that that would somehow solve the problem.
Maybe.
I just don't think it's going to really solve the problem. Whoever is speaking now, I can't quite tell. They're saying, I don't think it's going to really solve the problem. How is it going to be different? Because look how many dead people there are. There are dead people everywhere.
That's right.
That have not gone up because the upward flow, the updraft that used to carry them up, has broken down. Possibly because of deforestation, possibly because of other reasons. We don't know, but we do know that it has broken down. And so how will it be different when all of these excess human bodies are no longer breathing in this dimension? How will that change things? How will that change things? Do you hear any answer?
Not yet, no. It's a really good question.
It's a good question. Let's have a sip, because that's a good question.
Yeah,
how is it going to change things? Like, alright, well.
That's a good question.
I just don't think it's going to really change things.
Yeah, right? I don't have
We
an
have to
answer.
address this issue. So we think that this whole astral breakdown issue is going to have to be addressed for more dead bodies to make any difference whatsoever. We have to address the astral issues, and we think that that's got to occur way above our pay grade. Really. What now to inspire a divine miracle to address the astral anarchy? How can we inspire a divine miracle to address the astral anarchy? They're talking about Ram Dass.
Yeah, that's right.
Who was a wonderful person both before and after his stroke.
That's true.
And especially after his stroke. And he was wonderfully honest about what happened when he had his stroke. And he had at that point decades of spiritual tradition, not only as a student but also as a teacher. And it is when one begins to teach that one really begins to learn that subject which one is teaching.
That is true.
And there he was, having had his stroke, lying on the floor looking up at the pipes. And he realized it later that all that spiritual training he had had was not yet enough ingrained in him after decades for it to come to his aid when he really needed it. And all he was doing was lying on the floor looking up at the pipes. And we loved his honesty of saying that. And then we would think we would need to then take the next step and say, surely we can then see that that system doesn't actually work. Maybe it works for other things, but it doesn't work in the most important sense of being there in your hour of need. You know, it doesn't work.
No.
And that's unfortunate and sad, but if Ram Dass was just lying on the floor looking up at the pipes, none of us are going to do any better.
Oh, that's true.
And that's the reality of it. Unless somebody is arrogant enough to think that they're going to do better than Ram Dass, right? Which, heads up, he was a really smart guy. He was a Harvard professor.
That's right.
For him, his message. Why do you ask? Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
So they're not going to answer.
No.
They've got to do, like, they don't
That's
have to.
such a good point.
They don't have to. But it's like, the astrals, like, it's just not going to
the
improve.
ones we already have. We've got all these dead people stuck.
Yeah,
And
there'll
how
just
would
be more
killing
dead
the
people
bodies-
stuck.
We'd have more dead people. And then what?
Yeah, and now what? And then what's the next step? Aren't we still at the same step? And all that's happened is we've contributed to a bigger backup at that stage rather than this stage, which, you know, stop breeding, but nobody wants to stop.
No.
Nobody wants to acknowledge that that plan didn't work. Alright, I think it's wrap and submit, right?